What's up, folks? Welcome to another episode of Watching Paint Dry here on Another Letdown. My name is Zach from Another Letdown Media and the This Is Difficult video game podcast. I will be one of your hosts this evening. Watching Paint Dry is the show where we stay up late on a Saturday night after we probably should have thought about going to bed and work through the ridiculous backlog of miniatures that we've accumulated over the years / have started to 3D print because it's a lot. We have a lot of minis that need painting And yeah, so there's an old saying that says if a miniatures painter ever runs out of projects to paint, he or she will die. So by that logic, we're just trying to stave off death for as long as possible. And I don't do this alone. Joining me on the line, my perennial painting partner and our resident monkey handler, it's Mike, aka Broody Gambit. How's it going, dude?
It's going great. Glad to be here.
Yeah, me too. It's been a bit of a week. I'm sure we'll unpack that as the show goes on. We are missing Adam tonight. Adam, of course, off celebrating birth month. His wife surprised him with some very, very out-of-town friends for a little party tonight. So unfortunately, we don't get to say one final happy birth month to Adam live on the show, but we will certainly do our little celebration with him next week. I think we have something clever up our sleeves. We've been talking about it for a little while. There's talk about doing a Thanos off here on the show, so we'll see if that happens next week or the week after or something like that. As with all the shows that we host on the Another Letdown Media channel, as well as the This Is Difficult podcast network at large, we believe in civil rights for absolutely everyone and being as inclusive as possible, so any comments or activity actively working against that goal are not welcome and will not be tolerated. So, let's paint, shall we?
We should.
All right, who do you got on the table today?
I'm working on the second sculpt of Yoda for Star Wars Legion.
Nice.
He came through in the box, so.
Oh, well, that's interesting. Like,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah,
Like
that's...
him using the Force and the other is like him jumping with a lightsaber.
Oh, okay, right on. That makes sense. So I've got a pretty easy one on the table. I got Vulture. It's like 3 colors. And I am doing first appearance Vulture, so it's just a whole lot of green and some flesh color and a tree. That's about it. And then I do have, on backup here, I've got Wilson Fisk. I got Kingpin kicking around. We'll see if I get to him. If not, I'll do him off camera. I'm really apprehensive about Kingpin, but I think I've been doing a lot of research. I think I finally know how to do the white on his suit, at least suitably. We'll see how it turns out. We'll see how it all goes down. Yeah, here's a green. Caliban green. I'm just gonna weigh some options here. I did buy a new thing of green, but I think it might be a little too blue. It's definitely, I mean, we're definitely not into wog flesh territory here. That is just like way too gray. Caliban green I think is just gonna be too dark. So my other option is this Looper Cal green. I think that's what I'm gonna go with, honestly. And we can probably temper it in layering. So it's probably gonna come out a little funky to begin with, much like the flesh color that Adam was complaining about last time. But all things being equal, I think my attempt at... What was I painting last week?
Blob.
Blob, that's right. Yep, Blob. Blob came out actually very well. I'm very happy with him. So this is another C27 Collectibles miniature. Big ups to them. They are great. I will be printing some more of their stuff tomorrow, I think. Much as I don't need any more to paint. That is true, RPD. We can talk about things that aren't riff tracks. And don't get me wrong, RPD, like when I said, probably don't talk Sentinel stuff with Adam around, that was largely a joke. Like you don't have to stick with that. If you want to talk Sentinel stuff, Adam's just going to ignore it. He's very good at that. So how was your week?
It was busy.
Yeah, same. Wow. I immediately don't like this.
What?
This color is way too blue. I actually think I'm gonna have to go. God, am I gonna go to? I'm gonna go all the way to Wog Flesh. That's really disappointing. Citadel, you have failed me. That's really frustrating. I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, not a problem. But yeah, just you keep me busy and everything. So
Yeah. Yeah, we're getting on to the end of the year, and the students have kind of just like checked out.
hmm
So it's really hard to not check out myself.
Yep.
Yep, irritatingly, wog flesh is the correct answer here. We'll brighten this up in layering, but dang, that's so boring. I think I'm actually going to use dry brushing on the feathers here, as much as I don't do that very often anymore. I think it'll give them slightly more lifelike appearance.
Yeah. Yeah, anything that has like a whole bunch of like chainmail or anything like that, dry brushing really helps out a lot.
Yeah. In addition to expediting the process, it does just... It makes exactly what you want, Pop. This print came out so well, too. There's one, like, weird blemish on his head, but I'll paint around it and I'll make it basically disappear. Go to bed, RPD. So yeah, we had an awesome Arkham Horror game last night. Holy cow, man!
Yeah.
That was you were there talking about a game we played yesterday.
Oh, last night, as opposed to, sorry, I thought you were talking about what you had today, this afternoon.
Well, we had an awesome game this afternoon too, but like ours was. Both games were a lot of fun. I couldn't stop laughing today about Jared with that foolish shovel.
Yeah, and you couldn't get Becky or something more useful out.
I know. Like, I was explaining... Alex was asking me today, you know, who Jared's playing, and I was like, well, he's Tommy Can't Find Becky Muldoon.
Yeah.
And Alex was like, why can't he... Didn't you build the deck to find Becky? Like, you know how to do that. I'm like, yes, I do, but an AI doesn't. And Alex goes, what? I'm like, yeah, we let an AI build the decks. He's like, are you stupid?
Yeah, Ultimatum of Chaos.
Yup. I couldn't remember what Ultimatum of Chaos was called, but yeah. Once I started describing it, he's like, oh, you're actually doing that thing. And I'm like, yeah. Is it foolish? Yes, but does it make fun stream content? Yeah.
Especially when 3 out of the 4 are really dependent on like a particular shtick for their deck to work.
Yeah.
Like Diana like needs cards that cancel effects, and if you don't get those cards randomly, like you're hamstrung.
Oh yeah.
Finn is probably the least affected, but he plays well off of illicit cards, and Tommy obviously needs to have ways to find Becky.
Yeah.
And or have any sort of asset that has health or horror.
Yeah, which, I mean, he has some, and, like, we're getting there with it. I think his deck will come together faster than, like, Jacqueline's, for example.
Yeah, that's a lot harder for Diana. She's probably, like, the most affected by it negatively.
Yeah. But all things considered, like, we 2 scenarios in, it's doing okay.
Yeah.
It's definitely not God of Arkham status, but it's putting in work.
I guess the lucky thing with mine is how my deck building goes. Is like I start Seeker and morph into Mystic.
Yeah, I'm playing Norman right now in our main campaign, and yeah. He just rapidly becomes Mystic. I've got things like just basically nope effects.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what they're called off the top of my head, but yeah, it's been pretty good, and I'm not going to complain too much. I like Norman. I mean, I like the Seeker archetype just more than the others anyway. It's just the way I like to play the game. Which is weird because, like, in most games, you know, I just want to go ham pirate style. But, yeah, not a thing in Arkham Horror. So yeah, it was nice to see Jared finally get named God of Arkham. He deserves it. He's worked hard for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And today, Sammy lived up to his nickname, though.
Yeah?
He was juggling chainsaws.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I'll give you two guesses as to who he built, and the first one doesn't count.
Let's see, the chainsaw is a high-level red card, so it's got to be a survivor.
And think about juggling chainsaws. And I'll give you another clue. He's only got one in the deck. That should give it away. He's only got one copy of Chainsaw in his deck.
Yeah, is he playing York?
He sure is. On the waking side of Dream Eaters, so I guess spoilers for Dream Eaters, you can see, or you end up in the Dreamlands anyway, and we were facing off against a lot of Gugs, a lot of Doles, and a lot of Ghouls. Fortunately, you can obtain Richard Upton Pickman, one of my favorite Lovecraftian characters, honestly, and he helps out a lot, but you know, it's still work to be done. And Sammy was just going around sawing Gugs in half.
Awesome.
It was pretty epic. He got to live the dream. His deck has one specific combo that we never thought he'd get to live. We're still in the Alex and Sam are still very much in the throes of the argument over whether or not Faustian Bargain is better than eCash. I think they're two sides of the same coin, personally.
So Faustian Bargain gives like resources to everyone?
It can, but it's more resources and it costs the same. And my logic is, it's a greater risk, but in Sammy's defense, those two resources that you can allocate to somebody, or I mean, however many resources you can allocate to somebody else, could buy you out of the potential curse tokens of the curse tokens that go into the bag. There's also a strong chance, depending on when the Faustian Bargain is played, that you don't ever see those curse tokens at all.
Yeah.
It's a 2 in 19 chance, which is really, like, not terrible. Oh, who authorized this anyway? So yeah, Faustian Bargain, I think, is like on par with eCash, depending on the deck it comes out of and the situation it comes out of. It's super situational, but I think in many cases it can be better than eCash.
Yeah.
Alex just firmly says that it's not better than eCash. And Sammy says it's always better than eCash. I'm like, I really don't think it's either of those things. And maybe that's just the built-in, you know, the teacher built-in mediator in me. But I really don't think it's strong enough to say it's always better. And it's definitely not hurtful enough to say it's always worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Personally, I like... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I've got one scenario left in Innsmouth.
Yep.
And it is by far the best campaign that I've played.
Nice. So unfortunately, we're going to have to do Innsmouth. My crew is going to have to do Innsmouth fully remote because, like, we might be able to do deck building in person, but my daughter will be here by the time we get to the Innsmouth. Like, almost exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Based on how frequently we play. So, bummer, but like, yeah, I'm really excited for Innsmouth. It is my favorite setting within the Arkham Horror sort of mythos. RPD, oh Jesus, RPD says, I promised you a story about the circumstances that led to my to make folder. Okay, yeah, go ahead, man. You have sparked my curiosity. A couple of days ago, the RiffTrax 24/7 Twitch channel froze. Yes, I heard about that. I decided to stick around on the Twitch chat, and we lost our minds. Ended up getting the idea to merge the various swamp type areas into a single environment. That sounds nightmarish. We're approaching Hulk levels of green on this mini.
Speaking of Hulk, I picked up a Hulkbuster Iron Man today.
On purpose?
Yep.
How's your back?
I mean, I like the miniature, not the...
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, now wait a minute. That seems very heavy.
Yeah, the Crisis Protocol Hulkbuster armor with the 2-pack.
Yeah.
It was on, like, I was at a local shop. They said there was an event for organized play for Crisis Protocol, and so I was gonna go because like they mentioned like learn to play and stuff like that, and I was like, I don't have anything to do this afternoon. Let me just go check that out.
Yeah.
No one else showed up.
Oh.
So I did not learn to play yet.
I'm starting to wonder if us actually playing Crisis Protocol is just never going to happen. Is just cursed.
Yeah, I have no idea.
And like part of that is we've been working on the Marvel OGS or OGS 2.0 so long that just ends up being all we want to do.
Yeah.
And that's a project that'll likely never get finished either. Like obviously it'll never get published, but you know, we keep changing our minds. Like Chamali and Adam and I had another 2 meetings on it in the last, month, and we changed a whole bunch of stuff again.
But yeah, when I was there, I like happened to glance at the like half off table, and the Hulkbuster set was in it.
Dang.
So yeah, I was like, I like don't really care that much about Iron Man, but for half off, like.
Yeah, it's Iron Mans are fun to paint too, though.
Yeah,
like you
I want
go
the
ahead.
I have.
What?
I've got like a metallic red that I like wanted to try with Iron Man instead of just like doing a flat red.
Okay, that's fair.
As opposed to, I think you did like a silver underneath and put red on top.
That's exactly what I did. It was a very, very light red, or light coat of red. So the silver kind of shows through. But it was 3 different shades of silver.
Mm-hmm.
With the Nuln Oil over the top. So much green. But yeah, so we started playing our game today, and immediately, from turn 0, we like drew our opening hands, and Sammy and I kind of looked at each other like, all right, these are serviceable hands, like they're fine, they're not the greatest. I had Milan Christopher out very early, and I was like, okay, well at least I can get a bunch of resources really fast, and Sammy had like, a couple of minor things like a gravedigger's shovel and stuff. He's like, all right, this is like fine until I get chainsaw. Fine. We got beaten down, like absolutely curb stomped by Gugs by turn 2, and we were like, this is bad. And Sammy kept drawing auto fail after auto fail after auto fail.
That's no fun.
And we got to about 1:30, and we started at 11:30. Got to 1:30 in the afternoon, and we looked around at each other. We're like, do we restart this? And we'd even, like, Alex has the tarot card, like the thing where you draw from the tarot deck.
Mm-hmm.
And he drew the one that replaces a skull with a 0.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was very nice. And especially considering that the skull changes value throughout the mission. And so we were like, all right, well, we're keeping that tarot, but we're just hard resetting. This is our mulligan for the campaign. And by 5 o'clock, when I had to shut the store, we had won.
Good job.
The game was extremely efficient. And, like, for once, I didn't have to scurry out of there either. Like, I could have stayed till, like, 7 o'clock at night. If Adam was here, he'd grumble about why would you want to do that when you could Augs 2.0. No. Like, we want to... Don't... That's not correct at all, RPD. Like, we want to learn Crisis Protocol. We want to play it. But finding time to play anything these days is really tough. We've finally scheduled some time to play Gloomhaven tomorrow. After Tales from the Archive. Because no podcast, obviously. It's not our night anymore. And, I've got a day off on Monday, so... Guess what I'll be doing. What?
Are you out of school yet? Or
no, God, no. We go until the 21st of June.
Holy cow.
Yep, and then we get exactly 2 months off.
Insane.
Snow days, man. If there's one thing that 2020 taught us, it's that remote learning is absolutely 100% ineffective.
Yeah.
So we do not. There was talk during the pandemic or during lockdown of replacing snow days with remote days, and the consensus was, okay, well, we'll just see how this remote learning experiment goes, and everybody was like, this sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So we still have snow days. I mean, and it's worth noting that the students get done the 14th, I think. We have to go for extra days because we're teachers, and that's how that works. And the seniors are done, like, high school seniors are done Tuesday, I think, this coming Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds a lot worse than it is.
Yeah, public schools are still in, and I don't know exactly how long they go.
Yeah.
I think, like, the elementary schools are out. But my high school just had their graduation, and they're done already.
Well, the other thing is, like, many schools go back, and my barometer is Gen Con, before Gen Con. You know? Ours is long after Gen Con. Like, Jacqueline's always often telling me, like, oh, I have to get the kids ready for school on the Thursday, Friday of Gen Con.
That's
and
really
that's early. That's really early to me. All right, I got one more wing to do the green base coat on here. So I've started my off-stream painting, noise is the X-Men cartoon.
Yep.
And that is a brilliant idea because, like, it specifically puts me in a mindset of Marvel characters and Marvel color palettes. But I still have to watch Kenobi.
I was about to ask if you'd seen that yet or not.
I have not had time. I'm, like, way the heck behind on stuff. I was watching Flash last night and fell asleep. And that's just been the way of things lately. Unless it's Taskmaster, I just don't stay awake. I've become old. So for what I've been working during the last few weeks, good news, this lets me condense a bunch of loose-laying characters. Bad news, this will involve my signature brand of mess, the meta gimmick. Yeah. That has become your modus operandi, RPD. So I did beat Guardians of the Galaxy last night.
Okay, I heard it's a fast game.
It is a very fast game. It's very easy, except when it tries to change genres on you. And it does it frequently. It's like you've just mastered one thing, and then it's like, no, you're doing this thing. So you said you've started it, right?
Started it, yeah.
How far did you get? I don't want to spoil anything. Because the story is really fun. Like, that part of it is really fun.
I think I finished, like, the first mission.
Oh, okay, so you're really early in then.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that's about it.
Yeah. So, the core gameplay gets really tedious. Once you start unlocking other abilities for your team, you completely have to detach yourself from the combat in order to order them around. And in that time, you're often taking a bunch of damage, which is disappointing. There's also like a lot of situations where, like, I would like to jump or rather crouch and or do basic actions that you just can't do. They're not in the control map, and it's like, okay, this was a decision. But like the story was compelling from start to finish. You know how it gives you like the Mass Effect style dialogues?
Yeah.
They amount to actually nothing.
Yeah.
Which is really, really disappointing. That game should have had multiple endings. And I will tell you there is only one ending.
Yeah. Yeah, that I knew going into it. Like, you get like different dialogue, but for the most part, it didn't really change much.
Yep. It like the final fight has a couple of branching paths based on what you do throughout the campaign, but it's like pretty obvious what you need to do during the campaign, and like you do what you feel is right, and you're like, oh, okay, well, fine. It does introduce some really funny and fun characters that I do adore. But like it in general, it's just like whatever. It's kind of a forgettable game. And like I'm gonna review it on the podcast this week, and it's not total dog dirt. It's not Jay and Silent Bob Mall Brawl, but my rating's gonna be pretty low on it. It's one of those games that, like, I would highly recommend it if you can get it for free. I regret spending dollars on it.
How many dollars did you spend on it?
Only like 40, but still enough to be like a pain.
Yeah, when I got it, it was like 30 on Amazon.
Yeah, exactly.
And I went to Target and they price matched it for me.
Yeah. So I gave Miles Morales a 6.2. But that's also including the DLC, which was pretty messy. It's going to be lower than that. I'm just oh my god. And I gave Mall Brawl a 6. So maybe it is worse than Mall Brawl. No, it can't be worse than Mall Brawl. Is it really worse than Mall Brawl? It must be. God, that sucks.
Mall Brawl too high.
Maybe I did. I mean, I wrote generous 6 on our list. Oh man, that puts me into some rough territory. Although I really did. Yeah, RPD's right. It might just be a 6.1. You're probably right, RPD. That is probably what I'll end up doing. And I don't feel good about it. Because I did finish it, unlike Mall Brawl, I did stop in the middle. Or no, I stopped at the final boss. I was like, I can't be arsed to finish this, it's stupid. And actually, admittedly, the game, like, itself was, well, except for the one segment that RPD knows what I'm talking about. The Battletoads segment. It's pretty fun. Like, it's a fun little beat-em-up brawler. River City Ransom-like. But, in general, the game's kind of bad. I don't know. Yeah, it probably is just a 6.1. But I'll do some thinking about it as if I record footage for it. I may not. But I also, like, I didn't realize how to 100% Guardians, because they don't tell you until way too far into the game. And that was frustrating. Oh shoot, I should probably give him eyes. I'll just give him dome.
He definitely needs eyes.
Yep.
Flying's very hard when you don't have eyes.
Yep, you're right. Aside for a moment. Go get my tiny brush. Tiny brush. Just a tiny brush. It's not really that tiny.
Think my eyeballs, tiny brush.
That I will say was awesome in the Guardians game, and I'm glad I didn't stream it so I could have like the legit music.
Oh yeah, I did enjoy the jukebox and all the different awesome music in it.
Yeah. I mean, that is like my music right there. I can't see this. Okay, now I can see it. And I've lost the paint. Damn. Oh god. Did I do it? Almost. I got it, but I gotta fix a little bit. I told you we got a batch of Korax White in that, like...
Didn't that work well?
It worked okay.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't buy any.
Really?
I was like, no, not gonna do it. This time we're invoking what might be the most RPD of meta gimmicks without requiring going to the publishing verse. The point of view genre change. This story is going to be an ensemble cast story where the genre is dependent on who we're currently following. Interesting. Oh, that's cool, RPD. Yep, I got it. No, not only the meta gimmick, but then, hold on, the ensemble modifier that causes it to escalate wildly. Okay. Oh. Alright, now back to our regularly scheduled flesh color. Dog breath. How does this happen? What the crap? This brush just logs water so badly. It's still waterlogged. What the hell? So interestingly, Adrian Toombs' eyebrows are black.
Okay.
I'm looking at ASM number 2, which is the first appearance of Vulture.
Right after the first appearance of Chameleon.
Yep.
When you're thinking about like mainstream like Spider-Man villains, it's hard to believe how many came before Green Goblin.
Yeah. And I mean, interestingly, if while we're on that subject, if you think about what is the most mainstream of Daredevil villains, I mean, obviously, it's Kingpin. But Kingpin was a Spider-Man villain.
Yeah.
One of my favorite Daredevil teams, villain teams, was the Fellowship of Fear from Daredevil number 6. Which I would love to have miniatures of that. The Fellowship of Fear was Mr. Fear, the Ox, and the Eel.
Okay.
And God, I want miniatures of all those characters. Mr. Fear is actually really dope. Here, I'll show that on camera because I got it right here. So this is the Fellowship of Fear. And I want all those characters. I think they're really cool. Dang it, I screwed up his eye. You know, they say paint what you know, but this is coming a little, running a little bit too close to my grandfather. Like, it looks legitimately like my grandfather, and it's kind of terrifying. Hopefully the black eyebrows will change that up a little bit. Closest thing to a main story is going to be a Magical Girl story. Others include the stand-up comedy guy we talked about a while back. Yep, I remember that. Maybe the ex-math teacher and the IFT ninja movie guy. And one very special... Okay. Sorry, I know I'm off camera for a minute. So a particularly hard to reach area. I missed with green. Alright, I gotta get that small brush out again. Try again with the eyes. Seems I've missed. Dang it, I can't see this at all. think I got the eyes. No, I didn't. I can't. Such a weird angle. Yeah, I'm okay with it. Have you done Groot yet?
I have.
What did you use for a base coat on that?
I used oak brown.
Okay, that's disappointing.
Yeah.
But I think I can make that work.
Yeah, oak brown is just a really dark brown, and then I just kind of did a couple layers of brown and browned them up.
Yeah. Because I did those poison ivy plants back in the day that were awesome, but I can't remember what I started with. Oh well. We'll improvise. We'll get it there. Dry bark too dark? No, it's not. I got an idea. Maybe not a good one, but I got one. So I'm really actually quite fond of how his eyebrows came out. They really contribute to the crazy eyes that he's got going on here. He's looking down on Spider-Man, kind of like I very specifically angled his eye, like his pupils very far down in the sockets. I think that ended up working okay. It's not like the best, but I'm okay with it. I like it. Our main heroine is out of the picture for a bit, so we're doing the band together, supporting characters to make things happen thing. And with how limited the supporting cast's knowledge of the magic is, and how much of the solution is figure out the nature of the big bad magic thing, I think, yeah. I followed that completely, RPD. Alright, we're gonna try a thing here. I'm gonna lighten this up just a touch. A bit of Steel Legion drab. Oh yeah, nailed it. Well, I like this a lot, actually. It's about 50-50 Dryad Bark and Steel Legion drab. I'm pretty happy with it. Hopefully that'll be enough. be. I'm definitely gonna have to mix more of this. But... oh, for God's sakes. Some guy came in the store today, and he was like, "Oh, I have so many Amazing Spider-Mans. I got like all of them. I'm missing like number 1." I'm like, "Wow."
Mm-hmm.
What a tool.
Funny story. One of the local shops here just bought like 11,000 Spider-Man comics. Everything from Amazing Fantasy 15, like, onward.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, this guy was like, "Oh yeah, I had an opportunity to buy Amazing Fantasy 15, but I chose to buy Fantastic Four #1 instead." I'm like, wow. This guy's a freaking winner. Made me laugh. Like, I have Daredevil #1.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you know, it's a reader grade copy. It's not. It's framed on my wall. It's not hanging not sitting in a bank vault somewhere.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, read your dang comics. You know, don't get them slabbed and put them away in a bank vault. Like I'm sorry, that's not what comics are. Comics are for reading. I respect that, you know, there is some value there. And as there is with my Daredevil, but like, whatever, dude. Be proud of your collection. Don't just, you know, hide it from people. So we went to the Boston Museum of Science yesterday.
Yeah?
I love that place. I love that place so much. Their exhibits are always so interesting. They did a thing on Antarctic exploration this time that really, I mean, it startled my students. They had no idea, you know, sort of the things that kind of went into it. And they were like, wow, this is like really, there's a lot going on here. And like ice cores and stuff like that. What was that?
I would say don't thaw any like worms you find or anything.
Right. But they were talking about like all the equipment and stuff. And we got to see what in my mind effectively boils down to Barkham Horror, the documentary.
What's that?
Narrated by Chris Evans. It's a documentary on hero dogs, but it's like, the dogs are all like voiced.
Mm-hmm.
It was really cool. I mean, it was like a super IMAX movie, so it's like the IMAX Dome.
Mm-hmm.
Which I always like, but like, film school kind of ruined that for me, because it's all like, so much of it is just weird camera stuff, and that's really all it boils down to. It was pretty funny because like the intro scenes, you see like, oh hey, it's Captain. Like they show like pages of Captain America comics and pages of Daredevil comics, and of course the only student who picked up on who Daredevil was my student Rory, and I was like, I'm so proud of you. Thank you for getting that. And then immediately you hear Captain America's voice, and you're like, oh man, that's why they did that. Unfortunately, the other option was like a cave exploration one narrated by Bryan Cranston. And I was like, man, I kind of wish we'd seen that one. As much as I like dogs, caves are so fascinating to me. I think the cave one would have been a little less depressing.
What was depressing about the Hero Dog ones?
Just the implication, right? Like, I love dogs, and I love that dogs are able to do these cool things. And obviously, since it's a science museum, that's like the science behind the way that the dogs, are used to rescue victims of one thing or another. But like, there's still the implication that these disasters are happening, and that kind of depressing.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got a group of 75 elementary school kids. I think the caving one would have been a little more entertaining, but maybe that's just me. Additionally, it's not like we get the choice of which one we see either. It's all based on what time we hit the museum. All right, there we go. Oops, hang on. What is this? All right, cool. Did you use the Martian Iron Earth on that one again?
Yes.
Nice. I've got like 2 base... yeah, probably 2 base colors left. Really need a new Mechanicus Standard Gray. Never mind, I have one. We're fine. Speaking of less depressing, I just realized I have a bunch of stuff from my various shopping trips laying about. It's been a while since we last did an inventory. Oh yeah! Let's go, RPD. I love listening to what you get when you're out and about. Incidentally, while you get that prepped, RPD, I just finally got my record player back working again. Very excited about that. Actually, I may have said that last week. I think I did. But it's been very nice to have. Only one game. Oh, Mad World! Nice! Good snag, good snag. So I'm very sad. Liverpool lost in the final of the Champions League.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was was a bummer. It was a 1-0 loss. And yeah, just... Huge bummer. Because now I gotta live with that until soccer season starts up again. But it's been nice, having... I've one 8th grader who's also a fan, and it's been really nice following the team a little more closely this year, because one of my students is into it, you know?
Yeah.
It's actually FJB who occasionally pops in on these streams. All right. So I'm stuck with something here.
Okay.
There's some weird like undulations on his base that to me would imply sand. But then there's this like twisted old tree. Can trees grow in sand?
Yeah.
Yeah? So do you think sand for this base?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Xandri dust it is then. Doesn't really make sense for the character, but...
Sandman could be around.
Oh, that's a good point. Oh my god. Yeah, of course. Sinister Six, right?
Yeah.
Good catch. Shall we've got some things like Terminatus stone and Underhive ash to dry brush this with. So I was trying to describe, I had a customer in today who was asking about our show. And I said, yeah, it's kind of, when we're all here, but usually it's only 2 of us, but when we're all here, it's like 3 different styles of effective miniatures painting. It's my sort of slow, very regimented, high detail stuff. Your significantly faster, but also very high detail stuff. And then Adam's like comics page accurate, color decisions and stuff like that. Cross-system color decisions, and it just makes for a really interesting alternative take on how to paint some of these, which I think is really cool. And I guess what I mean, like the difference between mine and yours is, I'm very sort of rigidly attached to the way that the Citadel paints work specifically, but because you're not tied to any one system, I think yours tends to go a little bit faster.
Yeah.
But still yield a very high detail result, which is really neat.
So I think he's done.
Nice. See, yeah, you got him done in just over an hour, where I'm still laboring with base coats. Very cool.
On the side.
Movies are a great mix of middle-brow movies and questionable quality, like The Happening, Jingle All... Jingle All the Way is great! Classy movies for classy gentlemen, like Vixen and Faster Pussycat Kill Kill. Regular lowbrow fare, like Cage 2. Highly acclaimed prestige works, like Black Klansman, nice, Nightcrawler, and Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. I love that movie! Yep, Lovelace, yep, yeah, yep. I'm gonna try something here. This may pay off and it may not. Any more? I can't see it. So I had this little printing flaw, or paint. I got some sort of flaw, where the resin seems to have warped a little bit.
Okay.
So what I'm doing is I'm using that to my advantage by painting some pavement underneath the layer of sand.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like Sandman just kind of went ham all over the place. I think it's gonna work. Looking forward to the audio pickups here, RPD. Music, man. It's all about the music. I need to get some new records, like really bad. I got the new Coheed and Cambria coming in, but not... Alright, this guy's ready for ink.
Yeah.
And I think it's just...
Oil.
Flesh Shade, Null and Oil, and Earth Shade. Oh, Jesus. Drop him on his face first. Always drop your villains on their face first. That's very important. You know what? I just to satiate my own curiosity, I'm gonna touch it with a little Bealtan green and just see what that looks like. Just in some inconspicuous corner somewhere. guessing this is going to look a little too modern. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, it just doesn't change it enough. Although,
What are you thinking?
part of me thinks that the BL10 changes it to the right shade of green. But no, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It's going to look too much like the Hulk if I use BL10 green. Gotta use Null oil. I think. Hang on. Let me grab the Hulk real quick. Damn it.
What happened?
Nothing. Thor decided to take a dive down the back of the cage, or the display case.
Oh,
Dust. Oh, from me drilling holes. Yeah, so with Hulk, I use the BL10 green, I think. And it does change the shade a little bit. But I think I'm actually quite fond of the way Vulture looks. So I'm gonna go with Null oil, I think. I drilled a hole in the top of my display case, and Hulk got kind of rained on. Which is, like, I maintain makes sense. Yeah, I gotta go a little sparingly with the Null oil, but yeah, this is the right call. Maybe I don't. Might help if I put the paint pot on the right side of my station. Man, I'm so happy it's a long weekend.
yeah.
Like, holy cow. Not only just for the opportunity to get more painting done and, you know, as Adam put it last week, double my weekly output. I might even triple. But just, I need some time to relax. And, like, my wife will be home on Monday, which will be great. There's a spider on my workbench. That's delightful.
Yeah.
And, like, just get some stuff done, or not even. Like, just enjoy some time, you know, before the baby gets here.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, we can talk about now. I've announced that many times on stream.
Yeah.
I think I said that last week. So I'm checking out a new game soundtrack on the show tonight. Here, this is the soundtrack to Soul Blazer, which is a game that Paul recently finished and reviewed on the podcast. So far, I'm really liking it. It's good music. A lot of very funky bass in it. I like that. A funky bass line is often very cool in the context of video games, old school video games. Hold on, I missed a bit. Oh, here we go. The Who Sell Out. Nice. Dude, I've been after that record for a while. Megadeth's Rust in Peace, Gangsta's Paradise, Fatboy Slim's You Come a Long Way Baby, and finally Paul's Boutique by the Beastie Boys. Oh, nice. I don't like the Beastie Boys. I know I'm like very much in the minority there, but for some reason I just don't like the Beastie Boys. Oh wait, no, not Beastie Boys. I'm sorry. Beach Boys is what I'm thinking of. Beastie Boys I love.
Yeah,
my head is not.
Things.
Yes, they're very different things. Hey, that's magic.
Yes, it is.
I like how you're doing the spinning vortex. That looks cool.
I started with white, and I'm adding in this bluish green.
Yeah.
I'll go into more blue and darker blues as I get outside.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Let's do the flesh shade while I'm sitting here. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Alright. I have to be very precise with how I do the layering on his skin here. That's alright. Earthshade. I need the big layer brush for this one. Nope, wrong Place that. Citadel brushes go down here. They're garbage. I love how at this point my Citadel brushes have been completely relegated to inking and dry brushing brushes.
Yeah.
So, here's a fun story. Boston Calling is this weekend.
What?
Boston Calling Music Festival is this weekend.
Okay.
And so initially, my best friend and I bought tickets immediately because it was Foo Fighters. Foo Fighters were the headliner. We're like, oh my god, we're gonna be there. This is awesome. And technically, he actually won tickets, so that was nice. And he won a pair, which made me kind of cranky because I had to actually pay for mine. Although I think if we had gone, I would have sold mine off and used his Freeman. But we didn't know it was a pair until like literally a couple weeks ago. Anyway, so this was like a year ago. We're like, oh, the COVID situation will be better by then. Thinking optimistically, of course. Maybe that's folly, but who's to say? And we were like, oh. So, and then, anyway, so we're all excited about it. We're talking about it. Oh, yeah, we're going to see the Foo Fighters again. It's going to be awesome. We had a great time the first time. Well, then, of course, the Taylor Hawkins thing. And we're like, oh, well, okay. Are we still going to Boston Calling? Well, okay, yeah. I mean, replacing Foo Fighters with Nine Inch Nails, like, it's going to suck knowing who it was supposed to be on this stage right now. But Nine Inch Nails is pretty cool. We'll consider it. We start getting a little closer to the show. And we're like, man, like, the situation's not really getting that much better. A lot of people are still getting sick from conventions and other concerts and stuff. Maybe going is not the best option, but we'll still consider it. Like, we'll keep our options open. As we get closer and closer to the show, more and more bands are dropping out because they got COVID situations, and we're like, dang, like, is the ghost of Taylor Hawkins trying to tell us something right now? So we chose not to go, even though, like I said, I was in Boston yesterday. I could have easily just skipped over across town and caught a couple bands and then gone home. But we're like, no, we're not gonna go. So they come around yesterday, and the headliner for today got COVID and had to drop out. And we're like, oh, dang. All right, well, here we go. Now we made the right decision. Then I'm sitting at the store today. Again, not regretting my decision for a second because, hello. And then thunderstorms cancel half the day's worth of bands.
Okay.
I'm like, well, we made the right call. This was clearly the right decision. Anyway, it was funny.
You lucked out, it seems like.
Oh, absolutely. You're off to bed, RPD? All right, take care, man. We are not far behind you. About half an hour or so. Oh, whoops. Okay, there we go. Oh god, there's lyrics in this in the Soul Blazer music. That's interesting. All right, well, there's base coat and ink wash on Vulture. Looks pretty good, actually. I'm not disappointed. Oh, whoops, I missed a bit. This is why I stopped to inspect things. fixed that. Sort of. Alright, you know what? I'm going to consolidate Reclaimed Flesh Shades. Hopefully I don't make a giant mess. Because this little pot has had it. Damn it. Just knocking things over. There we go. Oh, little pot of Reclaimed Flesh Shade, you served me well. For so long. So long. Whew. Man, really just a lot of dry brushing left on this one. It's kind of it.
You know, I'm doing pretty much the same thing over here.
Yeah.
Like there's just, I could probably spend as much time as I would on a mini just doing the swirling vortex.
Yeah. Problem is I'm waiting for ink to dry. I think I can probably do the flesh shading though. Here, so let's go ahead for that. How's it? This has gone out of my playlist. What the heck?
Hmm?
Why is it doing that? For some reason, it's like not in my playlist anymore.
What's not?
The music has just decided to abandon my playlist and play other things instead. What the heck? That's so weird. I've never seen YouTube do that before. Dang it. I made him look like a clown. Maybe not. Maybe I can salvage this. Crap. Just stuffed my finger in the wet ink. Oh, you can tell I'm getting tired.
The more I'm painting this magic portal, the more it just looks like a whirlpool to me.
Yeah.
Like the colors and stuff that I chose.
Well, I'm going to be doing a lot of that with Fluor. The fluorescent stuff. So I'm hoping it comes out the way I want it to. Alright, there's that. Oh, God, I got the hiccups. Something awful all of a sudden. Alright. Let's start dry brushing the wings. Warpstone glow will work. Yeah, sure. Give it a try.
Well, this is looking pretty good.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited about that, man. I think the darkest blue might be a little too dark.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
when you hit it with a dry brush, I think it'll come out in the wash. Oops. Oh, jeez. I just painted all over my table. Alright, we're fine. Microphone getting in the way. And what I'm probably gonna... Oh, ooh. Is that too bright? Yeah, that's way too bright.
I can't see yours.
No, I was just... I'm actually just looking off the side. That is way too bright for a highlight code, I'll be honest with you. That said, a 50-50 mix of moot green and the warpstone glow that I was just using might actually do the trick, so I'm gonna try it. Worst case scenario, I waste a couple of drops of paint. Woo. Who cares? Mixed adequately. Going straight for the Abaddon black with the
Well, yeah, for the sword I was gonna do a solid black, and then for her like clothes I was gonna use a black gray.
That's fair. Oh yeah, that makes perfect sense. I like that a lot better actually than I was initially thinking. Draw and jellyfish on the table. Oh yeah, I like that a lot.
What?
So I did a dry brush of just moot green and then, or sorry, of warpstone glow, and then added some moot green in for the second dry brush, and it looks real good. And that's how I'm gonna highlight him too, his actual like body features. But for the moment, I'm gonna go back to focusing on his flesh here. Finish that up. Paint, do your job. Blend in with the colors below you. Thank you. Alright, there we go. Alright, one more thing here. Is nope, that one. Ultimate Gray, which is basically white.
What's up?
I just can't get the brush to go where I want it.
Problematic.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to be gentle because I've dropped this a couple times tonight, so I know the glue joints are a little bit strained at the moment.
Yeah, I'm very, like, everything on this model is pretty much the character is attached through the sword into the vortex, and that's it.
Yeah.
He is almost as wobbly as Storm.
Which was incredibly wobbly. Sometimes I think AMG has no... Like, they don't understand painting with their models. And I think there's some... one of the things that bothers me about the mini gaming industry right now is I feel like the sculptors and the painters have some sort of disconnect because the sculptors are operating under the assumption that, well, nobody's actually going to paint these anyway. Because, let's face it, that's a lot of times very true.
Mm-hmm.
But the painters are like, no, that's baloney. But, like, a lot of the best painters are like, oh, just paint it on the sprue, it'll be fine. And I'm like, no, because it doesn't end up actually being fine in most cases. Like, there are some things that I will paint in sections, but I very rarely paint fully in the sprue because you don't really have a good sense of how they go together. Or how the colors go together. This is more accurate there.
Yeah.
All right. This one is almost done. That said, I've still got a lot of, like, the plating, or plating is not the right word, but like the muscle structure and stuff on his suit to do. I'm not focused enough to do that right now, so I might just do some dry brushing on the base and call it good here. For now. I don't know why I'm shaking that. That's foolish. I'm actually going to try Underhive Ash here on the tree. I'm not hating that. Gives it a little bit more of a dead look. With Groot, I'll do some more like browns and greens. Because he is very much alive. And then we'll do our standard Terminatus stone on the rest of the base, and we're good here. What's that?
Trying to do her mouth.
Oh, jeez. Mouths are hard, dude. Alright, I am definitely not disappointed with this mini. I'll zoom in on it here. As it stands so far. That's maybe too far. I'm really happy with the way the wings look. Oh, hang on. Can I do this? Yeah, I can. There we go.
I'm not going to do that.
Oh, God. Is that for real?
What?
He's got a V on his crotch.
Huh?
Vulture has a V on his crotch. I'm just noticing that.
Oh, kind of like at like that belt kind of area. Look.
Oh, Marvel, never change. Never change. So really not all that much to do tomorrow. In this one. I do like how the black eyebrows came out. I think that really makes this one work. Anyway, you ready to call this?
I think I am ready to call this. I was about to put a drop of paint down and was like, no.
I'm out of focus. Anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in tonight for watching paint dry. This is always a blast. Broody, thank you for joining me. Always a pleasure hanging out and talking, man.
Yep.
So this week, what's this week? Wednesday. Yes, Wednesday, sometime in the afternoon, at the very latest by 6, for Mass Effect. And then we'll be back here for painting on Saturday, at least as far as I know. I don't think anything's going to get in the way of that this time. What's coming up this weekend? Oh, yeah, graduations and stuff. Oh, well, I don't think I'm going to be out until 10. That doesn't seem very likely. My top student graduates this coming Friday, or Saturday, so.
I've got friends visiting next weekend, so I'll be...
Oh, you'll be off?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's fine. So yeah, I mean, if we don't have a critical mass of people, then there's a chance we might not have a show. But worst case scenario, maybe I just play some more Mass Effect. I don't know, something on Saturday for sure. So yeah, have a great night, everybody. Take care. Be well. Bye.
See ya.